Continue off from a previous video. I'm drawing Jane, a Nano-Tyrannosaurus specimen, using that skeleton over here as my reference for the shape. And this is some nice little paleo art. I think there's the artist's signature. I got to look that up. It's phenomenal work. So yes, I am doing this in Krita. This layer here is the undersketch. So I'm going to lock this so I can't make any accidental changes to this fella. Now we're going to go to layer 2. I'm going to lock layer 3 real quick. Now, I used the DVAD 25.01 for my sketching. I like the little blue pencil. It works the best, I find. Now, we're going to alter our color, make it slightly darker. Pardon, I misspeak sometimes and say weird things. I meant darker, not dalker. Though dalker sounds like it might be a fun comedic name for a comic relief character in a book. Might have to take a note of that. Alright, so here we are. We have our base sketch done. Mirror her. Isn't she a beaut? I would have loved to get to see these animals in the flesh. Now, as you can tell, the sketch is really rough. That's good. That's okay. The fun thing about art is the process. All right, let's reduce the opacity. I feel like 34 is my sweet spot. It enables me to see just enough of my original base sketch without allowing it to interfere with my next creative decisions. So I'm going to start on lacrimal horns. They're the bony ridges above their eyebrows. And it seems to be a common trait in tyrannosaurs. At least in paleo depictions, I kind of like it. I think it's cool. Tyrannosauridae is a very fun family, in my opinion. There's a lot of fun different families. Like Spinosaurus just got a new skin. I guess that's one word for it. Mirabilis. Spinosaurus mirabilis. And it's kind of cool because I'm hoping we learn more of these brilliant murder herons. Alright. I'm just kind of hanging loose with this. I don't want to be too tight, too serious. You gotta relax when you draw. That's the most important thing I've learned. I kind of want this to be smooth here. Like a nice, smooth area. I'll do a little bit of a protrusion here for the other side of her horn. Covering the other eye. Actually, see, you've made a mistake already, but see, that's the fun thing. You can catch these. Just kind of give it a... And then we'll cut this one down. So, like, yeah. These can always be corrected later down the process. This is why we work in layers in digital art. I started my journey with this particular medium the start of this year, and I feel like I'm getting better. That's the most cathartic thing about learning a skill, is just you know you're improving, because I know the first sketches I produced, I did not like them. I still don't like some of my artwork, but always more critical. I've heard plenty of people comment that they're awesome pieces. And for that, thanks. That's a nice little confidence booster. Especially in a day and age when we're bombarded by very sloppy AI videos. I'm not going to get too much into that can of worms, but I do not think anyone that uses a computer to type text in and get an image within seconds qualifies as an artist. And I am also going to give one more thing that grinds my gears. I am diagnosed ADHD. I have mental disabilities. And the one thing that pisses me off is these tech bros trying to mask their crummy motives or excuse their actions by saying, well, AI is good for people with disabilities, otherwise they'd never be able to make art. Kind of makes me want to say some inappropriate things, but I'm trying to keep this at least PG-13. But if someone who had their arms lost in a tragic accident or was born without sight can learn to paint and paint mind-blowing works, you have no excuse. I know it can be intimidating, but look at children. Like, look at any of your drawings from when you're young. They are not good. Be realistic. Admit to yourself that these are not good. And when we get more skilled as we grow, it's not talent that shines through. It's the work we put in. Talent is just the fruits of effort. And generative AI has none of that. And therefore, it cannot be talented. Plus, it is just a disaster for the environment. I know people living near a data center. Oh, it's depressing. Their electricity bills have skyrocketed because of it. Because these companies, these AI companies, have found some kind of loophole to pass the electric cost on to the neighboring citizens. Tell me that doesn't sound Orwellian. Take somebody like George Orwell and show him today, he'd have a heart attack. I just wrote a novel for fun. I didn't write an instruction manual. I will concede there are some probably okay uses for AI as a tool, but not as a replacement for actual skill. Nothing is more infuriating than charlatans. And it's not just AI bros. There are people that'll steal your artwork and be like, look what I made. I'm sure some people in the paleo community, especially if you're on the dinosaur groups in Facebook, are familiar with some of what I'm about to mention. But there's this image that was stolen of a little dinosaur, and the story that went with it was the person's nonverbal child had drawn this. And, you know, a lot of people don't do their due diligence in today's era, and it really shows because a lot of people would just be like, oh, so inspirational. This has been posted, as far as I know, in 50 different groups by hundreds of different people. So, my devastating realization is I don't think these are actually real people that are responding. I believe they're bots. All generated, powered bots, which only makes me weep because more and more, with each passing day, the dead internet theory becomes a terrifying reality. Pardon for the rambles. It's the side of. It's just a part of living with ADHD. I go off on tangents. I don't mean to. It's just hear something, say something that just I gotta get it out of my system, man. But I started getting back into drawing, I think, towards the end of 2024. I was doing pencil and paper sketches, but I was only doing it off and on. I'm maybe thinking 1, 2, no more than 3, like 20-minute sketches a week. Sometimes even a month. I've gotten into a better habit of doing it more. I do them daily now. And I'm trying to work on my digital because, as mentioned earlier, you're never going to get any better unless you actually put in the work. Let's add a little bit of hatching here. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, governor, she's looking like a right proper concept piece of art right now, I'd say. Cheerio, chip chipperoo. Crikey, my bearded dragon scared me. She loves her orange sweet pepper, she does. I'd show her, but I'm recording this via screen capture on OBS Studio. Hey, how many of you people watching this are fans of Goji Center? He did this one video recently and it just completely was like made my inner kid giggly. Because the whole premise was which Tyrannosaur species could be domesticated, and he made this extraordinarily compelling argument that Nanotyrannus would be a better candidate for it than everybody's favorite Tyrannosaur, the almighty Rex. Which, I mean, it makes sense. Those suckers took almost 30 plus years to grow. Domestication needs quick reproductive rate, social structure that can be exploited. He brought up a good comparison with horses, how humans gain the trust of the matriarch in the herd. And then, by extension, they take a role, the human takes a role similar to her sons, the young stallions. I think it's kind of bloody brilliant. Our ancestors had that kind of big brain moments. Notice that my style is more comic booky and manga-ish. Leans more to the comic book side, which, if I'm being honest, I started all my artistic endeavors when I was young started with drawing Spider-Man. Just something about the way early 2000s and 90s comic books did the anatomy just spoke to me. Kind of felt a resonance with it, and it was easy to follow it and replicate it because a lot of comic book art is highly stylized, and you can almost see the structure in the character. You can almost see it broken down in your mind's eye. I was one of what you called those gifted kids back in my day. Now, I'm just a stressed out millennial, wondering where my next bout of Taco Bell's coming from. The world has gone crazy, it's quite insane. I can't get Donald Trump out of my brain. Oh, here comes World War III. World War III. World War III. It's gonna come for you and me. Donald Trump, raging Cheeto. It's not great. Oh God, he's in a Speedo. Look out. Get me the bleach for my eyes. Doesn't make any sense. I think I've moved past this being kid-friendly, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, probably put an age restriction and just go ham on this at point. Fuck this shit. La 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 la. Look at your beautiful lips. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. 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 That's what they should name the next Tyrannosaurus. And if they find out it's a female with the medullary tissue on her bones, they should name her Maybelline. Maybelline the T-Rex. Or Maybelline the Tyrannosaur. Nano-Tyrannosaurus. That'd be cool. Any of you Tyrannus aficionados in here? I think they're a highly underrated Tyrannosaurid. They don't get enough love, in my opinion. Those beautiful giant murder chickens. What's up? Gotta do the scaly lips. I think dinosaurs look better with lips, if I'm going to be honest. Because look at any reptile, aside from crocodiles. They have all gotten lips. Birds don't need lips. Birds have beaks. Because I know some of you are like, well, what about birds? Birds don't have lips. Dinosaurs are technically birds. No, birds are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are archosaurs. They are similar but different. Which I think it's cool. It makes my inner child happy knowing that I do live alongside dinosaurs in the modern day. Just not the, non-bird dinosaurs. The non-burbs. Burbs. Gotta really work on these teeth. Right now, you and everyone watching, I am a dino dentist. Gotta give you some nice crowns. Are crowns a mammal thing? If there's any dentist watching, please let me know. Is that just like a human thing? Well, I mean, technically, I guess there is a part of the tooth called a crown. I can't know everything, and I'm not about to pretend like I do. I can't stand people that are like that, too. They're like, oh, I know everything. I'm the greatest person that's ever lived, brother. Nobody can comprehend my sheer magnitude and awesomeness, brother. Now, we're going to go back and we're going to sketch some happy little teeth. A little recurve there. I can't zoom in too much because then it'll get all pixelated. I can't add serrations, but they are implied. We know these guys had serrated teeth. Cut you up like a hot knife through butter. Just had like the most random thought pop into my head. Nano-Tyrannuses, but they speak with those rough voices from the Urukai from the Two Towers. What is it that you smell? Man-flesh. Sneagle. Sneagle likes the T-Rex. 50, 30 nano-Tyrannuses. They steals the T-Rex's foods. They steal food from the precious. Ooh. ADD. I'm crazy. Not really crazy. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe the whole world's crazy. Maybe what the memes suggest is entirely true. We were thrust into an alternate timeline when they killed Harambe. And now, we must find a way to go back in time and change the hand of fate and challenge it for another roll of the dice, a better throw. If there's any Legacy of Kain fans, please tell me you got my reference. I would actually love to see that as a video game. Like, people go back in time to prevent the decay of the world by saving one gorilla. It was a shame what happened to that poor ape. Of course, I hate when I hear any animal dying. I mean, I wasn't there when it happened, but like, you know, I was like 20. And my first thought was like, this animal was put down because of some parent's negligence. Like, you're going to a zoo with minimum barriers. Keep a better tab on your kiddos. Keep a wee eye on your chicks. They'll be going into the frickin' gorilla pins. They'll go into the gorilla pins. And then you'll shoot the gorilla. It's not the gorilla's fault. He's just chilling, eating his cabbage. I don't know why I'm going Scottish. Or is it? No, it's not Scottish. Actually, I think it was. I need to go get me Irish Spring and go back to the Emerald Isles, where me leprechauns keep their pot of gold. I apologize to anybody that has clicked this thinking you're going to get quality content. You're just getting the ramblings of a burnout, ADHD-riddled millennial that suspects they might have a bit of autism. I don't know. I've spent most of my life masking and only recently find myself in a much healthier area in my life. Better situation. Like, I've gone from not being able to draw in this period of time. It was almost a full decade I went without drawing, without working on my writing. I'm not sure what it is. The mouth looks off, but I'll correct it in another layer. Kind of giving her some droopy jaw flesh. It's a bit of a weird term for it. Mirror mode. It's not looking terrible. This is bothering me. Alright, so we're going to use... Where's that select tool? This one. And carefully, like a surgeon, for the very first time, extract these lacrimal horns. Go to the warp tool. Modify them. Alright, I think that's okay. I want this to be in a pretty good position for when I start doing the next layer, which is going to be another sketch layer, but with further refinements. This is just how I like my workflow, which it's taken me 4 months to find. Good things come to those who wait. Right, let's increase the size here. 15.63. That seems to be like my lucky number. Oh, hell no. What the hell's that, boy? Got all big circular up in here. I'll tell you what. Welcome to Big Texas Pete's Ribs Extravaganza. We got your certified bona fide smoked brontosaurus. Come down for some good old stegosaurus steak flanks and our signature Triceratops Philly cheesesteak. Come down for a 3-piece meal of our compsognathus fried dinner with a side of mashed potatoes and gravy and a big old heaping thing of coleslaw for just $6.99. And pet Jane the Nano Tyrannus. But first you gotta sign this waiver. Big old Chuck's House of Dinosaur is not responsible for severed limbs, missing arms, missing hands, missing feet, your nose getting ripped off, your face getting eaten. Not suitable for children under 5. I think I could turn that into like a little cartoon if I took the time to apply it. Let's do this. Let's give it a little bit of mushy. Alright, see, here I gotta work with a little bit of perspective. So this is where her spine is, and there's a little bit of back meat. Got a little bit of back meat. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back chilies. Baby back ribs. Barbecue sauce. So I think, considering that dinosaurs are more closely related to archosaurs, which means birds and crocodiles, that alligator is perhaps the closest we would ever get to finding out the taste of a dinosaur. Chicken, maybe. Chickens are an avian dinosaur, so we at least would know what a microraptor would taste like with 11 herbs and spices. Bum 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 bum, yeah. Sketchy, sketchy, sketchy. Do a little hatchet. It's also, some details don't need to be there. We don't have to make this super detailed. It's just gotta be enough. We need to give the implications of detail. Here I could just do a big old osteoderm, followed by a couple of little ones. Maybe a couple just random ones here. Look at that. Isn't she just beautiful? My God, I just realized, if we actually could have lived with dinosaurs, Steve Irwin would have been peak cinema. Here's a little bit of interesting trivia. I had my 18th birthday the day the Stingray got Steve Irwin. I woke up. I was finally legally an adult in the United States of America. I got up, told myself, this is going to be a great day. Just awesome things are going to happen. I'm an adult. Walk into my living room, and then I see on Good Morning America, Steve Irwin dead. Worst birthday ever. Of course, I guess it's not as bad as this one person I knew. They were born on September 11th. I would have hated to be at that birthday party on that day. Bum 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 bum. I imagine Jane as having some swole arms. Like, I feel like Tyrannosaurs in particular were pretty jacked. My favorite clades are the Tyrannosaurs and the Abelisaurs. Abelisaurs are just far. I don't want to say that. I want to kind of try to keep this as clean. Though they have confirmed that swearing tends to be done by more intelligent people. Do with that information what you will, young people. Because sometimes in life, you just gotta call out the grown people in their bullcrap. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I love Abelisaurids. They have the cutest derp faces. Like, shrink me down a Majungasaurus to the size of a pug. I will take out my kidneys, both of them, just to get my hands on one as a pet. Just to have it just like in my lap. I even want it to have like a loose floppy tongue and it's just drooling all over the place. Being the cutest, derpiest theropod in existence. And I would name it Snuffles. Snuffles the Majungasaurus. Snuffles! I figured out what's bothering me about this hand. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. It is awkwardly positioned, Commander. Alright. So, next layer, I'm going to just make it look more palmy. I don't have to stop and make corrections constantly. I'm just going to get slowed down. La 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 la. Nope, that's not what I want. I don't want that tool. I was on eraser mode. Do 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 do. I'm sitting in the corner at the bottom of the bottom. Do 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 do. Sha la la. You know what's the weirdest thing I was discussing with my wife is how all 90s musicians seem to do the same vocal thing. So it's like every time I hear Mr. Jones, I hear that same sha la 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 ya in every 90s soft rock song. I am never going to claim to be a singer. At this point, you're just getting a front row seat to my vocal stems. Enjoy the ride. Pop a box of popcorn. I don't mean a bag. I mean the whole damn box. And just fork it in there. That's right. I'm telling you. Eat your popcorn with a fork. Like a serial killing maniac. Coming soon to a theater near you. Markiplier in Popcorn Eater. It's time to get the fork out of here. Alright, sure. We're gonna do a little bit of post-reconstructive surgery. We got to get the hands right, so we have to do the talons, the sharp sausage thingies, like this. Two little cylinders. Did they have 3 or 2 knuckles? I do not know. I will consult with the skeleton. Consult with the skeleton. 1 and 2. Okay. Let's go back. And then we take a look. It's good enough for representation. I know the space it's going to occupy. Alright, let's add a little bit of a palm. The little meaty part of the palm. A little squishy part that, come on, admit it, when you were bored, you would bite this part of your hand in class. Mrs. Jones, she'll be up there giving a algebra lecture, you're bored out of your mind, and you're just like looking down at your hand. And you're looking at that big meaty part next to your pinky. And you're like, chew the crap out of that. And then you start doing it. And you can't stop. Then you're spiraling down a hole. It keeps happening. You look around, and then you find your crush staring at you like a freak. You have just committed social suicide. You may never return. You are to be exiled to the waste, to live among the desert people, eking out a miserable existence among the rock, praying not to be devoured by the sandworms of Dune. Interesting fact about Dune. Did you know that was published by a car manual publisher? Almost nobody had faith in Frank Herbert's novel. So, yeah, don't give up. Just never give up. Never give up. Never surrender. Da 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 da. I know I did the Star Trek theme to a Galaxy Quest quote. Don't come at me. This is life. Alright, so let's go this way. Nice, big, beefy calves. These guys were runners. They were the Usain Bolts of the Tyrannosaurs. Despite the fact that not even Usain Bolt would be able to outrun a Tyrannosaurus, some of the current speed estimates place them faster than a human. And even if he could get ahead of it, the T-Rex's superior vascular system would overwhelm him. Because they do not get tired like we do. Alright, gesture lines. Do a little bit of reverse. Alright, now let's... I hate this part on any theropod drawing. The weird bird feet. Weird bird feet. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Weird bird feet. I just wanna fly. Tell you what, put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. No, don't jump off the building. You're going to kill us. I know. La 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 la. No 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 no. La 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 la. La 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 la. Sure, you think you can dance. Can a T-Rex get jiggy with it? Even though I'm not drawing a T-Rex. Right, so I'm gonna have to change this, and yeah, I'm gonna just do a gesture line. It's gonna have to go more this way. This part's gonna just be beep beep. Alright. By the way, a good tablet, for you people that want to get into digital art but aren't sure what tablet to buy, I'm using Veik, or Veik. It's Veik, and it is better than my old Wacom tablet. Miles above it, actually. There's a bit of a adjustment period with the stylus pen, but it is... I paid 60 Canadian for this one, and I read the reviews. A lot of people compared its performance to like a $300 screenless tablet, and I have to say this is better. I had the not a Wacom tablet. What was that one? Oh my god! Was it a Yugi? Or no, it was that other brand. Like this. It's basically the Burger King to Wacom tablets is the name of this brand. They're like the Burger King in the stylus tablet world, as a way I would gently put it. Like Wacom is McDonald's, and the brand I did have. Actually, one second. This is driving me nuts. What? Where is it? Where is it? Huion. Huion. I had a Huion tablet. So yes, Huion is the Burger King of the digital tablet world. I'm just saying that because the first one I got annoyed me. Yeah. The micro USB port just immediately died within a few weeks. And this is why I hate micro USB. The Vake tablet I got now is USB-C, which is a much bigger plus to me longevity-wise. I will say there's a caveat. Its provided USB-C cable is rather flimsy. Like, I got a short in it within a month or two. I switched out to a second-hand one that's durable, and I haven't had any problems since. Just trying to make sure we get that caudal femoral muscle. I hope I said that right. The caudal femoral muscle. You got to draw it, my lad. You'll never be a true paleo artist if you do. Alright, let's take a quick look-see. Oh shoot, I gotta take the pen off the tablet. She's got a bit of a humpback. I'm gonna have to fix that. So wait, let's see. Let's go. We can do this, which shows the back curvature a little bit. But I'm gonna have to shrink this section down. So, yeah, you can call this cheating if you want. I'm all about this life. Oh, my heart was broken. My wife just got me into liking Snoop Dogg, and he's using AI on his videos. Like, dude, you have the money to help the art community. It's like, it's not even a technology that's doing that great. Shoot. Select, that's what I want. See, that looks better. It's not as Quasimodo-ish. Anyway, what was I going? Oh, yeah. Like, a lot of people that are doing automation with AI for coding are finding out that the AIs are hallucinating their code. And they're putting out subpar code, and it's just wrecking their businesses. And then there's the bubble popping. Half of all data centers in the US are now on hold permanently or delayed indefinitely, which I am not gonna cry over that, because AI has caused nothing but problems since its launch. RAM prices are exorbitant. Like, I shouldn't have to pay $600 for a component that cost only $120. Like, RAM was one of the cheapest parts you could get next to the frickin' motherboard. I wanted to build my first PC, and I had been waiting and waiting. I've been going through parts, trying to picture the perfect build. I wanted to do an AM5 build. You know, nothing too fancy, like a 7600X. And I was leaning heavily towards a Radeon graphics card because I don't like the fake frame generation, and now I know AMD has something similar with FSR, but their overall performance is better budget-wise. Now, if I was making 3D videos, I probably would go with NVIDIA. Because NVIDIA, they're great for that kind of stuff. That's one of the things not laptops, their GPUs were designed to be for was content creation. This foot is going to be jankety. Jankety foot with some jankety little toes. But it can all be corrected. Balance can be brought to this drawing when I'm feeling more up to it. I just wanted to get this done. Alright, so let's see. You know what? Bloody hell. I can't end it on this. It's gotta be a little bit better. I know. Do a little cylinder. Do another cylinder. Do another cylinder. Do another cylinder. Do another cylinder. And another cylinder. The cylinders are your friends. They will guide you when all seems lost. Little cylinder here. Happy little cylinders. Welcome to the Paleo-scribe. We're going to do some happy little paleo art. Nice, happy little paleo art. Because nothing is wrong with the world. It is not on fire. It is not burning into the ground. Reduced to nothing but cinders before our very eyes. So let's all have a little party. Let's go crack open a puppers from the beer store. That's a place in Canada. No, that doesn't look right either. Let's go back and erase. Alright, so I think mayhaps just lightly make basically like when I would do a Godzilla drawing. Change the shape here. Alright. And here's the progress for now. Oh my god, it's too small. God, why? Alright. Oops, nope. It's got to be a little bit more neater than that. It will not do right. Alright, that looks a bit better. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight, my Lovelies. Nah, that sounds weird. That sounds just so weird. I'm going to get you, my lovelies. This leg needs to be a bit thinner. We want her to be a little healthy, though. We want her to be somewhat chunky. I like a big girl. I like 'em sassy. What a wonderful view. Wonderful view. Downtown. Downtown. Every time I hear Macklemore's Downtown, for some reason, my brain immediately thinks of Downton Abbey, and I picture all of them breaking out in some like weird turn of the century post-Victorian song that ends up being a rap song. Alright, so this is where we're going to leave it today. Look at that face. Look at that face. So, next layer will be further refinements, proportion corrections, and then after that's done, there will be another layer, and there will be details added. Let's save it.